Hello chess friends and welcome to Yazarov Chess channel and welcome back to our Caro-Kann defense studies. So in this series we're analyzing this beautiful opening from White's and from Black's perspective, and today I've prepared really beautiful and instructive gameplay by Stockfish 15 against another top engine chess system Tal. Let's repeat again. In our first video we have followed a very spectacular game in which chess system Tal, a chess engine that is programmed to play like the legendary Mikhail Tal, played a wild sacrifice in an early stage of the game, but Stockfish managed to defend it, so please also check it out. I think all of these videos of the Caro-Kann defense should be really watched combined in order to have a great preparation in this amazing chess opening. But today we're analyzing the reverse game. Today's it's Stockfish with the white pieces against chess system Tal with the black pieces in this Flohr variation of the Caro-Kann defense, and we'll see now a different approach. Stockfish will not even play such a brutal, such an aggressive line like chess system Tal played with the white pieces. Stockfish will play a more positional line. So in this video I think the most important things are positional trades of pieces. Here I wanted to point you out how to trade off correctly the pieces in the Caro-Kann defense, because I think if you don't trade them correctly you could face many positional problems. You can have then problems on dark squares or light squares if you manage if you maybe somehow, as I said, trade the pieces not in the best way. So let's see now the game with the white pieces. The fish open, the Stockfish engine open with the move e4. We have c6 by chess system Tal, d4, d5, and after knight to c3 we're now in the main line of the Caro-Kann defense. Now we have the classical variation with bishop to f5, and here Stockfish also goes with knight to g3, hits now the bishop on f5. We have bishop to g3, and now again this idea to rather go into normal piece development than to go into this aggressive lines with h4, h5. This lines we will analyze also in the continuation of our series of the Caro-Kann defense. But so far let's analyze again this Flohr variation ideas, where white is, as I mentioned also in our first video, is relying more on piece activity than to simply go aggressive with some pawn movement. So here e6 played by chess system Tal, knight to e2, here by Stockfish preparing also knight to f4. In this Flohr variation, in the common Flohr variation, you're trying knight to h3, knight to f4, but I think we can agree knight to e2 with knight to f4 is also a similar idea, or in some lines even the same idea from white's perspective. So we have here now a knight to e2 by Stockfish 15. Stockfish is trying now to attack the bishop on g6. We have here chess system Tal is playing bishop to d6, and now comes kingside castling. As I said also in our first video, if h4 in some lines happens, this shouldn't bother. We simply continue with h6. We're trying, of course, to get some breathing spaces for the bishop. Then after knight to f4, we will then only then give up the bishop for a knight. Usually I would not recommend you to give up the bishop for a knight if your opponent has not exposed himself with the move h4. If you play something else, you'll see also in this game when Stockfish will play knight to f4, chess system Tal will not give up the powerful dashboard bishop for the knight on f4. But now when h4 happened, you had to play simply this move h6, and as I said, after knight to f4 we simply trade it off. We go knight to f6, queen to e2, we can castle, and now knight to d5 I think is a solid way here to proceed from black's perspective. We can then play afterwards queen to a5. In some lines we can also attack the queen side. Knight to d7, knight to f6 are also good lines. So in my opinion, nothing spectacular gained here also for white. Of course white has the beautiful bishop here, but I think this is a solid position because of the powerful knight that's centralized around the square d5. So here after move bishop to d6, kingside castling, knight to d7 played by chess system Tal. So now you see we have a similar idea, but now I would not recommend you here like chess system Tal also played. Don't take out now the knight on f4, because now white did not play the move h4. Now it's a little bit different. You don't have even the threat of h4, h5 immediately. So now we leave this knight on f4 like this. We simply continue with knight to f6, and after move c3, kingside castling. Now Stockfish took the other bishop on g6. So but still look at this, we're continuing now the game with our powerful bishop on d6. So as I said, sometimes you'll have to give it up for the knight on f4, but only when white push the pawn on h4. Now this bishop on d6 is the most powerful minor piece I think on the board. We still have a solid structure on light squares, although we gave up now our light square bishop from black's perspective, of course we're talking. And now the main principled moves are e5 or c5. We don't want to also tolerate this advanced pawn on d4, so white has here a solid structure, so we're trying to break here the structure with the move c5 and e5. And I think still the game can be complicated. Still the game is of course maybe slightly better for white, but I think we have defended in a good way with the black pieces here, and in my opinion this is the way to go in this floor ideas of the Caro-Kann defense. So now Stockfish continued with rook to e1, chess system Tal continued with queen to c7, and now knight to f1 by Stockfish. So in some games that I've seen that in the database, bishop to g5 has been played also many times, simply attacking the knight. But as I said, now c5 or e5 are perfectly fine moves. Look at this, we simply continue with bishop to f4. Maybe we can also trade off the dark square bishops off the board. If in some lines white continues with bishop takes f6, then knight to f6 or something, then the game becomes an opposite colored bishops middle game slash end game, in which I think white and black don't have so many winning chances. I think the game is getting towards a drawish position very, very soon. So that's why when white is giving up the bishop for knight, as I said, not so many I think dangerous things can happen for both sides. So that's why here after move queen to c7, Stockfish played knight to f1, try to keep the pieces on the board. We have rook to d8 by chess system Tal, bishop to e2, and now e5. Also c5 I think it would have been perfectly fine. So here bishop to e3, chess system Tal takes. We have bishop to d4, bishop to c5, good strategic move here. Again, chess system Tal doesn't want to tolerate the bishop pair. The main strength is the bishop pair of white. So now with bishop to c5, chess system Tal is trying to get rid of the most important advantage that white is here now in the game. So in the beginning, we have seen, as I said, we didn't want to give up our bishop for the knight, but we are trying now to give up the bishop for the bishop. This is what I've talked about in the beginning. The positional trades of pieces, I think, are very, very important in the Caro-Kann defense. So you should really know when to trade off and when to not trade off the pieces of the board. So here bishop to c5, knight to c5, and I think although this is an open battle, the knights are very, very dangerous here. Look at this, they're already controlling the center. They can use many of the squares. Look at this, many targets with the knights that you can use. So in my opinion, at least an equal game here for black. In the game queen to c2, we have queen to f4, beautiful aggressive move by chess system Tal, g3, and queen to f5. Further simplification, good move here. Here we don't want to complicate things too much. Queen to f5, g takes f5, knight to e3, and now knight to a4. Good move here by chess system Tal, simply attacking also here the b2 weakness. Bishop to f3 here, chess system Tal took the pawn on b2. Even if you play here something like, I don't know, rook from a to b1, then we'll simply fix also our f5 pawn with the move g6, and I think this is again an equal game here for both sides. Nothing gained also for white. White's pieces are also a little bit stuck to the defense of the b2 pawn. If you play b3, then of course the pawn on c3 is hanging. So good strategic play so far by the Tal chess engine. So after move knight to a4, here bishop to f3. Now chess system Tal took, Stockfish attacked, chess system Tal defended the position, and after a couple more moves we had a 3 times repetition. So believe me or not, with the black pieces, chess system Tal defended the position against the powerful Stockfish 15 chess engine, which was I think a great thing. But I think this is a really instructive game from the beginning, where we give up the light square bishop. The light square bishop we should give up for the knight, not the dark square bishop, only as I mentioned when black is challenged in this way. When you play h4, then after h6, then after knight to f4, we can then trade it off, because we cannot get pinned after knight to f6. We cannot get pinned by the bishop on g5 anymore. So in my opinion, nothing gained also in this particular position from white's perspective. So we'll make a summary of this floor variation of the Caro-Kann defense. We'll do now different sidelines, different variations, different possibilities from white and from black's perspective. In my opinion, this whole concept to proceed with bishop to c4 and then to go knight to e2 or knight to h3, knight to f4 could be dangerous if you don't know what to do. But I think these lines are not so dangerous by white. You can defend it easily, and I think this game that we have seen now is very instructive on. So maybe you can use some of these methods in your preparation in the Caro-Kann defense. So okay, this was now our second video of the Caro-Kann defense chess series. We'll continue now with different sidelines, as I said, with different possibilities, also with the main line, also with the advanced variation, all of these beautiful possibilities that can happen in an amazing Caro-Kann defense. So okay, here's the link of our playlist of the Caro-Kann, and if you want to see more beautiful aggressive games in top engine level, check out our commented chess games played by computer series. Here's also the link, and if you like this content, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. See you soon with some more videos, and what do we say? Chess is the best, of course.